What's up guys, BT Moto back here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to load a motorcycle on a truck by yourself. Pickup truck, no lifter, no nothing, no help, just by yourself, doing everything. I'm going to show you exactly what tools to use, how to do it. Today I'll be loading our S1000RR onto a Ford Raptor. Now, Ford Raptor, as most people know, is a taller truck than most, and the thing is so wide it's actually classified as a commercial vehicle. It has to have those amber lights at the front of it, so it's a big truck. So we'll make sure we get the biggest example we can to load a low bike. This bike is loaded an inch, which should make the loading even harder, but I'll show you guys all the tricks of the trade and exactly how this works. If you're gonna get a truck and you have the purpose of loading bikes mainly on the truck, a few things you should know. First of all, make sure your tailgate is rated to actually hold the tire and the weight of the tire on the back of it, especially when you're strapping it down. I know a few of the older Tacomas, for example, the bed or the tailgate would crease if you actually put too much weight on it. So make sure your truck is rated for that. Also make sure you have some sort of, you can see right there, some bed lighting right here in the truck. Bed lighting is really important, especially if you're loading or unloading at night. It's not something you really think about until you're in the thick of it and it's night and you're like, man, it'd be really nice to have some lights. Luckily this truck has bed lights I can turn on and off. I'm gonna switch right here on the bed. Not only the bed lighting, but we've also got scene lighting right here, just in case we need to turn that on. It'll illuminate everything under here if it was night. Of course, you also need hooks in the bed as well, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right over there. So first I got these 10-foot ramps here. These are Titan 10-foot ramps. These will actually be able to fold up and get in the bed of the truck after we're done loading the bike. I love these things. One ramp is gonna be for the bike itself. I see a lot of people getting one ramp, kind of cheaping out, and they'll use kind of a box or something to stand up on here while they're loading the bike. This is the easiest way. Yeah, you spend a little bit more money, but it is the best way in my opinion, especially if you're a single person loading it. So you're gonna need Canyon dancers right here, and I'll show you exactly how these work. 2 of these to try to secure the ramps to the truck itself, 4 major tie downs like this to help us secure the bike to the truck itself, and a couple of these just in case we don't have enough space for the hooks right here, and if we don't use the hooks themselves and we don't want to mess the bike up, these actually are nice and gentle right here so we don't actually put any gouges in any of the metal. All right, got my helmet on now, guys. I have both hands here. I think this is a good perspective because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll put a camera somewhere and you watch them walk up and down the truck. You need to see this first person to really get a hang of this procedure here. So that's why I'm going to do that kind of a different way than most people do it on these YouTube videos. First, you want to make sure that your straps, there's no tearing, nothing wrong with the straps. They are perfect. If there's any kind of tear, they start coming apart at all, swap them out. I mean, this whole ratchet set is like 20 bucks on Amazon. Not a big deal. Just swap them out. It's better than going down the road and you have a tear here and it tears through and now your truck's ruined, your bike's ruined. It's just a bad day when you can just spend 20 bucks on new straps. I probably get new straps once every 6 months, to be honest, and just throw out the old ones and get new ones just to make sure we're 100% on these, because I take some very expensive bikes on the trucks. So first thing here, you pull your ramps and there we go. Wonder how much ramp I need here. Might have just enough. I see a car I've got right here in back of me, so I'm trying to work with space constraints. And let's get this ramp up as well. Now there is a right way and a wrong way here. You can see the lip. There's a little edge right here, an L bracket here for the lip, whereas the bottom doesn't have that. It's meant for the ground right there. Now, what I want to do here is I want to line up this ramp with the center, the dead center of the truck right there, because I'm going to line the bike up with the center of the truck. And this ramp, I'm going to take off probably about a foot away, about a good spacing right there, exactly a foot. You're good to go. Now, what we have to do is use these blue straps. And I'm going to hook these to the bottom right here by the tow hook, or by the receiver, and strap down the ramp itself. Now, this is important for both ramps, not just one, but both ramps, because if I lose my footing or something, I don't want this thing to fly out. And if I'm trying to run the bike up the ramp, and once I do that, if I gas it too much, it's going to slip, push this out, and now you have a different problem. Your bike's going to be on the ground. That's not a good thing either. So here's the second tie down right here on the receiver, and we're just going to put that right here. Tighten that up. There we go. You can see I'm not too crazy on there, but it's very secure. Now what I'm going to do is line the bike up. So this is a very important part too. So I want to make sure we get the bike lined up perfectly with the ramp right here. Usually I get pretty good running start, and I put it right where the ramp begins. You can see right there, right where it starts. I'm going to put the kickstand up, key the bike on. Let's see how this cold start is. I haven't started this bike in a couple of weeks. Beautiful BT Moto cold start, never fails. All right, let's go here. Up for one because I have reverse shift. Now what you're going to want to do here, this is the important part. You want to find the clutch engagement. See right there? I got the clutch engagement right there. So I know exactly where the engagement is. I play it with the throttle a little bit. Now you want to ride the clutch all the way up the ramp, okay? So while I'm walking up the ramp, I'm going to clutch it. You do not let the clutch out. You let it slip the entire way. Just kind of watch how I do this. See that I'm slipping it, slipping it, slipping it. I'm doing a very slow walk. Very slow walk. I'm still slipping it. And it was that easy. That's how easy that was, guys. Then you put it in neutral. Kickstand down. Shut the bike off. Now, another important thing here, I think is important, the bed mat. Bed mats really help, especially for the kickstand, especially if you have these deep grooves that some beds have, they come with. The bed mat really helps flatten things out. Easy to put the kickstand down on the bike. All right, guys, now we have it up on the truck here. I'm going to pretend like we're taking it off the truck since I'm not going to videotape it after this. I just want to do it all one fell swoop. You take it up here, kickstand down, and you want to ride the front brake, basically. So I have my finger on the front brake here, and that's how I'm laying this down the ramp right now. You just line up the back tire with the center. Basically, if you line up the ramp with the center of the tire to the front of the tire, this will come right down just easy. Real easy. All right, I'm gonna load up one more time for you guys. So again, get in first gear. Get to your engagement point there where the wheel touches the front of the ramp. Find the engagement point on the clutch right there. I feel it. And slowly throttle up while you're walking with the bike. Nice and steady, slow. Ride the clutch all the way up. That's all you gotta do. And like I said, for sport bikes, do not let go of the clutch. If you let go of the clutch, this thing's gonna take off on you or stall or all that stuff. Just ride the clutch all the way up. As long as you have a low rev like that, it's not gonna hurt the clutch or anything. Key her off. Now let's do the rest of this. So first thing I got here is the Canyon dancers. These are real easy. I always put them this orientation too, where the hook or the loop is in the back here. And I'll tell you why in a second. Both of these go through here like this. There we go. And I'll show you why I load the front loops like this. And that's simply for the throttle side. Now the throttle tube here is very delicate on the bike. So I make sure when I get that loop settled like this, you see what I'm doing? Now when I put tension on it, it's putting tension on the throttle instead of the other way, which may break it. I'm putting tension this way, which is not going to break it at all. So first thing I'm doing here is I'm taking a strap and I'm putting it on the kickstand side, and it's just to secure the bike. Now I'm not going to put a crazy amount of strap into this, meaning I'm not going to tie it down actually. I'm just going to put enough in it where in case this falls, it's going to hold it. That's enough right there. You can see it's holding, no problem there. It's enough where if the bike were to tip, for some reason, it's going to hold it. Then we'll go over to this side and add the strap and then start ratcheting the bike until the bike comes about upright. So when it's about perfectly upright, you'll feel less tension. It's about right there where it's upright. I'm going to look at the bike right now. You can see that's about perfect where it's lined up with everything. It does take some trial and error, especially if you haven't done it before. You pull the kickstand up. Always put the kickstand up as soon as you get the bike secured. And here we go, strapping it down. And I've got a little bit of tension there now. So I got tension on both sides. Now you've got it sort of upright. What you want to do here is line the wheel up because the wheel may get misaligned. When you do that, now the wheel is straight with the bike right there. You can feel I still got some tension that needs to be put on this. But now we'll look at how far out the back is. You can see we're leaning to the right now. So let's go ahead and put some tension on this side of the strap to pull it over the other way. And now you can see the fork's actually compressing. We're getting a good strap on it. You can see now we're straight. You just want to kind of compress the shocks enough to the point where this thing's not going to move. Meaning if I go like this, see, I'm shaking it, it's not really going anywhere. Now that's secure up to the front of the bike. Now we have to secure the rear of the bike. And that's where these cool straps come in. Now some people, what they'll do is they'll put a strap right through here through this hook, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to put these through here, so I'm not scratching anything on the bike, because a lot of people, they don't like scratches on their bikes. All right, then you want to loop it through right there. This is your other tie down. Tie it to your truck. Tie her down. Now you'll see the front tire start to move a little bit here. See, there it goes. That's how you know you're strapped down enough. Let's do the other side now. There we go. And what I like to do here is give it some good tugs, because if there's any looseness in the strap anywhere, now I'll know it's still pretty tight. There we go. I got one click out of it. Check over here now. This still seems pretty good. And then you can see the actual tire is hovering a hair off of the truck itself, which is actually good, because that means it's secured in the center of the truck. I actually like the bike fighting the front and rear strap, so it keeps it in one spot. And you can feel this actually is a good spot too. Great spot here too. Now that that's strapping is all done, let's get the straps out of the way. Put them over the side of the truck. This one over the side of the truck. This two. And last one. Now we have no more straps in the truck. Next thing we're going to do is start loading the ramps up. So take off the strap. Pull up the ramp. This is going to go right by the bike. And we're going to have to secure the ramp too, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I put the ramp up against the truck. I'm a little OCD here. I don't want my truck to get scratched up. Right there. Perfect. Do the same thing on the other ramp. Alright, both secure. Now we're going to take those blue ratchet straps that we had to secure the ramp on the back of the truck, and we're going to secure them now to the truck again. But this time, we're pulling the ramp away from the bike. And this also gives us a way to tie everything else down. Now that we got this tied to the truck, it's not going to be able to swing itself to the truck. But also at the same time, we've created a system here where we can tie or get all of our loose strapping in here without it flapping around against the bike and scratching it. Alright, doing this side too. Now, first thing we're going to do, real simple ties. This will hold it for hundreds of miles. I just tuck them all under like that, so the wind's not hitting it directly. Next one, let's do this one, and I'll show you how I secure this down. Now, out of all the bikes I've tied down, all the methods I've done, this is the best way to not scratch your truck or your bike. If you're using ramps, the ramps actually really help with scratches amazingly. And now you can see this is not going to hit the bike no matter how much wind hits it, right? Now let's do that with all the straps. Now it's also important to remember that you don't want to take all of the slack out of this. You want to leave a little bit. What I'll do here is I'll go to a gas station after I'm done strapping the bike down, and that'll give about 5 miles of use in the truck or in the back of the bed here. The bike will settle into the truck, and that'll usually leave a little bit of slack in the tie downs that you just got to take out of it real quick. Usually the rear ones will be a little bit loose, and that's about it. Alright guys, and we're completely tied down. Then you can see wind is not going to be messing with these straps at all. They're secured to the truck. They're not going to be hitting the truck. They're not going to be hitting that. They're not going to be wrapping itself around anything while you're driving. We got it like that for both sides. The ramp has no chance of hitting the truck at all, especially for wind or bumps or anything like that. This is exactly how you want it. Drive for 5 miles, pull over or get gas, whatever you got to do, and just do this again on all the straps. Make sure they're secure. Just cinch them down a little bit. It doesn't need a crazy amount of strap. You don't need the fork shock completely compressed. This right here, you can tell it's not going anywhere. I'm really pushing on this thing right now. Like the whole truck is moving. This thing's not moving. I can't get this thing to go anywhere. So it is locked in. This is good for a very long journey wherever you guys need to go. Now this truck also has a bed cam on it, which is really useful. When you're driving, you can just take a look at your payload if you're kind of worried about it, or if you hear something from the back or whatever. If you don't have a bed cam, you could probably see the whole thing through the rearview mirror anyway. Make sure the bike's nice and straight. So I think that's it, guys. I think it's time to get this thing on the road and to another race. See you guys in the next one.